What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. And right now I'd like to give you guys my brief thoughts on the new Discovery Plus original special. It's not a show, it's a special. Finding Bigfoot, The Search Continues. So this is a continuation of the Finding Bigfoot show that was on Animal Planet, which I've seen all the episodes of that. And this is like the Finding Bigfoot is the number one Bigfoot related show that I've ever seen. You know, it's number one. I believe it's mostly genuine. I believe that these people genuinely want to find Bigfoot and they're not interested in hoaxing us to find it. And I think that the methods that they use are mostly scientific, and I also think that they're very genuine. Like they believe what they're after. So for those reasons, that Finding Bigfoot has always been kind of the most earnest of the Bigfoot shows. Now, if you've seen any of my coverage on Expedition Bigfoot, I've reviewed every episode of season 2 on this channel. If you've seen any of that, you know that I really like Bigfoot related shows. I have a lot of fun watching them. I do think that there's a lot of entertainment liberties being taken to entertain us, and I believe that a lot of the scenarios that these shows put us in are set up, if not outright hoaxed. And that being said, I never really got that sense in Finding Bigfoot. I always felt like it was mostly earnest, and they were mostly being truthful with what they saw or what they thought they saw. That being said, if anybody knows of any instances where it's been proven that they were hoaxing, feel free to leave a comment here. But I've never heard of that. So I've always felt like these guys were pretty much on the up and up with what they know or what they think they know. So in this instance, we get Matt, we get Cliff, we get Bobo, we get them back. And we don't really get Renee. Not really. Because she's out doing field research and she can't come back. And so this is mostly a Matt, Cliff, and Bobo episode. And now it is a 2-hour episode, kind of. It's really about an hour and a half. If you watch it on Discovery Plus, it's an hour and a half. And this episode was a lot of fun. Number one, it was a lot of fun just to get the group back together, right? It's been 3 years since we've had a new episode of Finding Bigfoot. It's been 3 years since we've had this group together. And in a lot of ways, it followed the format of the original show. They go to a location, they scout the location, they talk to some witnesses, they have a town hall, they identify some people in the town hall they want to talk to some more, and then they kind of explore their stories. And that's really what happened here. It was a long episode. And what I liked about this episode was that it takes place right in my backyard. This takes place here in Ohio. So, the action that happened in this episode is about 90 minutes from where I live. So, lots of Bigfoot stuff that I watch happens in the Pacific Northwest or areas where I'm like, it's not exactly close. This is pretty close. This is pretty close. And a lot of the locations they were talking about, I've either heard of or been to. So that was cool also. But then they get to and by the way, guys, Bobo's lost a lot of weight. He's lost a lot of weight. And some people, they lose weight and they look better. He can stand to put on some pounds. He can stand to put on a few pounds. Hey, no judgment here. No judgment here. I'm a kind of a hefty guy myself, so no judgment. But some people look better with some meat on their bones. You know what I'm saying? So the three of them, they do their exploring. They have their town hall, and then they follow up on the witnesses. And what I will say about this was that I do, like I said, I always believe that these guys are earnest and these guys are being truthful. But this episode felt very scripted. Oftentimes, Finding Bigfoot did feel scripted. This one felt very scripted. Now, I'm going to get into some light spoilers here. Spoiler for a Bigfoot-related show where they're not going to find Bigfoot. I hope that one day one of these shows finds Bigfoot, right? Wouldn't that be fun? That would be like event television. Like everybody in the world would tune in to watch that episode of Finding Bigfoot. Wouldn't they? Everybody in the world would tune in to watch that. It would be bigger than the Super Bowl. All right. So at the beginning of the episode they were talking about, well, Renee can't make it. She's doing some field work. We're holding out hope though that she'll be here eventually. And I thought to myself, this is like in the first few minutes of the episode, and I was like, she'll be there. She'll be there. and then about halfway through the episode, they get on their computer and they have a Zoom session with her. She's like, "Oh, guys, I really wish I was there." And he was like, the Moneymaker was like, "Well, we're holding out hope that you're gonna be here." And she's like, "Oh, I wish." Very scripted. And then what happens? On the last night of their expedition, who's standing literally standing on the side of the road? So they saw somebody standing on, they was like, "Who's this?" I'm like, "It's Renee. You guys know it's Renee." And she joins them and so when they finally got the four back together, it really felt very much like Finding Bigfoot. Like the show was back. And they tromped through the woods. They did their howls. They went through all the motions of Finding Bigfoot, but it was just great to have them back, and great to part of the fun of any Bigfoot related show is the host. That's one of the reasons why I love Destination Truth and now Expedition Unknown, because Josh Gates is a great host. And then it's one of the reasons why I've kind of started to lose interest a little bit in Expedition Bigfoot, because the hosts are not as strong. Bryce is nowhere near as charismatic as Josh Gates is, or as Matt Moneymaker is. So having these four personalities back together, Matt and Cliff and Bobo and Renee, it's like, hey, all four of these guys, 3 guys and a girl, all 4 of them are personalities and charismatic and fun. It's fun to hear them talk about Bigfoot. And that's really what they brought to this episode. It was just a fun adventure out in the woods. Did they find anything? They found evidence. That doesn't matter. What was important was having these 4 back together. And I hope that this is successful enough that we're going to see them continue to have. I would love to see a relaunch of the series. A relaunch of the series on Discovery Plus. That'd be great. So that's what my fingers are crossed for. But did you watch Finding Bigfoot? The Search Continues. Did you get a chance to see it? Let me know in the comments down below if you did, and what you thought of it. Did it feel like a nice reunion with some old friends, or did it feel like, well, their time is past? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. While you're down there, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining me right here at the LQ Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.